You stare at the blank page and your brain whispers the first lie. I'll do it later. That whisper is not laziness. It's a logic loop, a neurology-driven trap. To beat procrastination, you must first understand the hidden mechanics that make starting feel impossible. This is a story of chemistry, expectation, and tiny decisions, and how you can redesign them. The hidden mechanics of procrastination. Why start feels impossible. Procrastination is best understood as a failure of self-regulation, an executive function mismatch between what you intend to do and what you actually begin. The academic review of procrastination describes predictable predictors, task aversiveness, delay, low self-efficacy, and impulsiveness. When a task feels unpleasant or the payoff is far away, the mind prioritizes short-term ease over long-term value. That's not moral failure, that's cognitive economics. Under the hood is motivation biology, and dopamine is the character many people misunderstand. Dopamine doesn't simply equal pleasure. Modern neuroscience separates wanting from liking. The brain often lacks the wanting signal for abstract or delayed tasks, even if you will like the result later. In plain terms, your brain may not want the thing you intellectually value. That gap is where procrastination steals your time. Now meet the single strongest integrative theory, temporal motivation theory. It's a simple-looking formula that explains procrastination by blending 4 ingredients: value, how much you care; expectancy, confidence you'll succeed; impulsiveness, how easily you give in; and delay, how far away the reward is. The longer the delay and the lower the expected value, the weaker your motivation, even for goals you say you want. That explains why an exam due in a month is invisible, but a social ping at 3 p.m. is irresistible. Temporal motivation. Theory doesn't moralize, it predicts. So what does this mean for the start problem? It means 3 brutal truths. Start costs energy. Every action has an activation barrier. Call it activation energy. You must pay in attention and movement. If the barrier is higher than your available motivation, you stall. Your brain prioritizes certainty and immediacy. A small, certain reward beats a large, distant one. That's why social apps win and long projects lose. Small friction kills starts. Tiny steps or unclear beginnings become magnified obstacles when motivation is low. Now we pivot from diagnosis to structural fixes, not pep talks. The first evidence-backed lever is implementation intentions, specific if-then plans that link a cue to an action. Instead of, I'll write later, an implementation intention reads, if it is 9 a.m., then I will open my notes and write for 10 minutes. A meta-analysis of implementation intentions shows a medium to large effect on getting people to initiate goal-directed actions. They work because they shift the decision from vague intention into a triggered habit. You can prime your brain to start by eliminating the should I decision. Next, micro goals. Humans reward completion. Each done task sparks a tiny dopamine hit. The trick is to split a wall of work into atomic tasks that finish in 1 to 10 minutes. These micro goals transform distant value into immediate completions, increasing perceived momentum and rewiring your expectation that you can succeed. Think of it as building a chain reaction. One tiny finish produces a biochemical nudge toward the next. There's also the radical power of external time anchors. Time perception for many people, especially those with ADHD or weak time awareness, is unreliable. The brain misjudges how long things take. Use visible timers, countdown apps, or physical clocks to make time concrete. When time is visible, the delay term in temporal motivation theory shortens relative to the present moment. Your brain reads the clock and says, okay, that's short, I'll act. Another robust tool is temptation bundling, pairing an indulgent, immediately rewarding activity with a productive but less pleasant one. Studies show that pairing exercise with a favorite audiobook or podcast increases adherence. The same principle applies to starting any task. By bundling, you increase the immediate value of the work, shifting the value term in temporal motivation theory upward for the present moment. Want to fold laundry? Allow yourself the indulgent podcast only while you fold. Suddenly, the task has immediate wanting juice. But there's also a social lever you shouldn't overlook: body doubling. This practice, simply doing a task in the presence of another person who does their own work, anchors you and reduces internal friction. It's not accountability in the stern sense. It's the human presence that makes starting less scary. body doubling has become a mainstream, evidence-informed tactic in ADHD coaching and productivity circles because it reduces distraction and increases persistence. If you can't get someone in the room, try virtual body doubling via focus platforms. There are many, or even video co-working sessions. There's a danger in all this. Chasing motivation alone. That's like waiting for the wind. Instead, become an architect of starting conditions. Remove friction, increase immediate value, and create specific triggers. Swap moralizing sentences, "I must be disciplined," for tactical rules. When the 9 o'clock bell rings, open the doc and write one paragraph. You are designing your brain's environment to make the right action the path of least resistance. Finally, don't underestimate habit scaffolding. Habits are automation. They remove decision costs permanently. But habits need scaffolding to begin. Implementation intentions, micro goals, rewards, and time anchors. Build the scaffolds, and the habit will carry the load. Next, we'll go deeper. A step-by-step, science-backed playbook to get started now. The Start Kit. Tactical steps, micro goals, and dopamine hacks. That work. If the first part we rebuilt your map of procrastination, this second half hands you the toolkit. This is not motivational fluff. It's a precise, tactical regimen that engineers starts. You'll get micro goal frameworks, dopamine-aware rewards, implementation scripts, and a daily ritual you can use right away. First principle, make the first step frictionless. Design a start script, a short sensory chain that always triggers the first micro task. A start script might be alarm, 1 glass of water, 60 seconds of movement, timer set for 10 minutes, open file. The script reduces the decision points to one visible chain. The cognitive load is transferred to the environment you pre-built. Use implementation intentions to lock the chain to a cue. If I hear the 9 o'clock alarm, then I will do the start script. Implementation intentions boost initiation because they automate the response to a cue and reduce internal negotiation. Second principle, use micro-goal architecture. Convert monoliths into 5 to 10 micro-goals of 2 to 15 minutes each. Name them precisely. Instead of write chapter, your micro-goals read, write 120 words for intro, list 5 subheadings, cite 2 sources. Completing each micro-goal triggers a small reward, a sticker, a stretch break, or 90 seconds on a favorite site. This provides immediate reinforcement and addresses the dopamine gap between wanting and liking. Remember, completion breeds dopamine. Your brain learns small steps equals reward. Repeat, and the brain starts to want the start. Third principle, variable rewards and novelty. Predictable routines are powerful, but novelty increases dopamine. Rotate mini rewards or change the work environment occasionally. Use novelty in tiny doses. A different playlist for micro sprints, a new mug for morning tasks, or a 10-minute walk outdoors between blocks. These inject small bursts of incentive salience, increasing the wanting for your productive periods. Fourth principle, temporal reframing. Shorten perceived delay. Use visible timers and deadlines inside your own calendar. Break a week-long project into daily micro-deadlines. Put the most valuable subtask in the earliest slot of the day. Early wins compound. Temporal motivation theory predicts that reducing perceived delay and increasing expectancy both raise motivation. So structure your timeline to make success likely and immediate. Fifth principle, temptation bundling applied. Pair a high-value, immediately enjoyable activity with the first micro-goal. Only listen to that podcast while you draft the first 200 words. Only watch the show while you do the dishes. Empirical field experiments show temptation bundling increases adherence to healthy behaviors. And the logic applies to starting any task because it increases immediate value. Start checklist. Use immediately. Implementation intention. If Q, then I will. Start script. Start script. Alarm. Water. 60 seconds movement, 10-minute timer, open file, micro goals, 5 to 10 atomic tasks, each 2 to 15 minutes. Temptation bundle, podcast/audiobook only during first micro block. Visible timer plus 2-minute fallback. Body double session. Schedule 25 to 50 minutes with a peer or focus platform. Reward ladder, small immediate reward plus variable surprise every 3 completions. Log, start time, duration, outcome. Review weekly. Key evidence backbone. Implementation intentions improve initiation and goal attainment. Dopamine separates wanting versus liking, so immediate incentives matter. Temporal motivation. Theory explains how delay and value change motivation. Temptation bundling reliably increases adherence. Body doubling reduces friction and improves focus.